Michelle, how are you? I haven't talked to you for a while. Hey, yeah, I haven't seen you.
This can be added under K, and then this one will be at the end. This one. Okay, thank you. All right.
Well, welcome everybody. We'll stand and say the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you everybody for coming. And we'll call this meeting to order. First thing I need is there is no public comments, I'm sorry. So we'll skip that. I do need a motion to approve the minutes. Chuck? Second. Chad, all in favor, raise your right hand. That's 5-0. ISBA, there's nothing, no reports.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, for policy, I just want to let everyone know that we are working through the updates. So I am bringing a first read to the board this evening for updates of 37.2, a special update from July of 2025, an update of 38.1, and an update of 38.2. So just some discussion if you guys have any questions, but you will have the next month to look over those, and we'd like to do a second read and then a final approval in July at the board meeting. And just so you guys know and the public knows, we still are working through a few more updates, and we'll bring those, hopefully the rest of the updates in July for their first read and then a second read in August. Okay.
We need nothing on that.
Nope.
Okay. Ms. Morgan, good thing.
All right, first thing that I have to share for you guys can see our PLC Summit agenda from June 3rd. So on last Wednesday, we pulled together all of our PLC leaders. So each grade level has a PLC leader, or department has a PLC leader. They kind of facilitate the meetings. It's not that they make all the decisions or anything like that. They just facilitate the conversations, especially at collaboration on Mondays. And so we bring them together every June to kind of help build them up as leaders and give them a day of learning specific to leadership. And so we had this would be our 5th summit, and it went great. It went amazing. Pictures that we had so much fun. I always like to theme things. I just think it makes it more fun. So this year we did The Roll is Right, and based off of Price is Right. And so we added in games after each session to just kind of break up the day. It's summer, it's hard for teachers, to want to come back. So we brought them all up on contestant row. That's how we shared data. So when they had to bid, they bid on like what they thought our data was for our school. So it was a ton of fun. The leaders did amazing. They were into the learning. Coaches are a huge help during this day, and principals, and we just had a great day. And I do have to give a shout out. Julie Leeper was Barbara Barker. So she was hilarious. We had written her script for her, and she put them on note cards, so she was able to flick them as she was done. So that was so fun. And then Tim Wilson was our announcer, so he sat up in the booth in the auditorium, and he did so great. At one point, our PowerPoint went down, and he's like, "All right, it's time for commercial break," and he just it was so great. They did wonderful. They were a huge help, and it just was nice to have fun and also have a lot of really good learning. So great day. And then the next thing I have to share is summer school. So we are underway. Last Tuesday was our first day of summer school. We had a great start. We have 26 second and third graders that are attending summer school. We have it housed at Meadowview Elementary again. Students attend Monday through Thursday from 8 to 11. Teachers are there from 7:30 to 11:30 so that they have a little bit of time to plan and just be ready for the day. Next week, they will be testing a little bit on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. So we'll see how that goes. And then our high school, we also have some summer school. They are all doing Apex, which is online, so they can do their courses for credit recovery. And then we also have some students that are taking summer ag with Morgan Alexander. And then we also have our first ever summer work-based learning with Carl Grau. So everything seems to be going really well. Yo does a great job of kind of last minute figuring out all of our transportation for us, because we don't know until that last round of testing. We have 3 buses. Can you say who are driving those?
We have Barb Wingard, Barb Gang, and Jessica Mitchell are helping us out.
So it takes a village, that's for sure. So, all right. Oh, and we have 7 staff members teaching the second and third at Meadowview Westview Elementary. That way we can keep our groups nice and small. So, all right, any questions for me?
Great job.
All right, thanks guys.
Very good job.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Yes, I really don't have a lot to report today. I just wanted to emphasize our growth as a team, our growth as a district. I'm proud of my SPED team for adjusting to a ton of things this year, but honestly for adjusting to me. Stepping into a role that was held previously by Sherry, who had been here for a really long time. I just am so appreciative of their grace and persistence as we worked through a lot of stuff. But also this team, I think we've adjusted a lot this year and have grown so much. And I'm just thankful for the opportunity and just to get to work with everyone here and grow together. So it's been really exciting. But as I wrap up my first academic year, I'm just really proud of that. So just wanted to share that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Great job. We got you on transportation. I was gonna go to Sizemore, but
Ladies first.
ladies first.
I don't have a whole lot, I just put the semester bus trips in there. It just shows our second semester yellow bus trips and white bus trips. You can see the number of white buses a lot again. We're using those for as many things as we've had to, a lot of last minute extracurriculars. We do a lot of white bus training and unfortunately they just have to do last minute trips because I don't have the drivers available for extracurriculars. And then I didn't have anything for buildings and grounds today. I took some time and went to each of the buildings and just kind of visited with the custodians, see how they're doing, see if they need anything. This is a year really where we don't have a lot of construction, which is fantastic. I'm not complaining at all. And just checking in with them and seeing how things are going. We just have little things, but everything is scheduled. They all have something going on. So I just took some time this morning and visited with each of them and touched base with them. So that's all that's going on there.
You're doing a great job because that's one of the toughest jobs in the whole school system. We all know that. I mean, if we don't get our kiddos to school, we don't.
Well, I mean, I'm short 3 drivers and at this time I don't have anybody to do it. So I don't know what I'm gonna do for transportation when school starts, so I'm trying not to worry yet, but I am. So I really don't have, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't wanna make the routes any longer than what they already are, or fuller than what they already are, so we'll see. I'll worry about that in a couple weeks.
Vehicle, you know. You do a great job. I appreciate it. Mr. Sizemore.
Mr. Lambright. Alright, I just want to kind of give you a little bit of a report of what's going on in the summer. As you guys know, technology never stops. In the summer is when we break everything and then try and fix it before we get back to school at the 1st of August. So, kind of, I just want to give you an idea of where we've been doing so far and where we're at for the rest of the summer. So far between the school getting out and right now, we have rolled out all new Chrome devices to the classroom staff at both Shipshewana and Topeka. So the classroom staffs are moving to Chromebooks that are much bigger. They're a professional Chromebook. Gives them a lot more access to what the students see, how they interact with it, and all that kind of stuff. And with digital curriculum and stuff like that, we've moved on to a lot of web-based. And so we don't need all the programs and everything like that Windows are. And Chrome books are much like Macs and stuff like that. They're very locked down. You have to approve everything, where Windows is much more open and it's a lot easier to manage, and security and all that kind of fun stuff. So we'll be progressing the other buildings here in the next coming years, but those 2 buildings are the ones that started. So we did that. They started rolling those out to the staff the last week or 2 of school, and then the first couple of weeks of school, kind of getting those rolled out as the staff was ready to make that transition. So they have them all summer. Get used to them and play with them and hit the ground running next fall. We also rolled out 425 new Chromebooks for students. So every few years we roll over Chromebooks, they just get beat up, they stop getting updates, all that kind of fun stuff. So we have a plan. Kendra and I have been working on it for, it seems like about the last 6 months. It hasn't been quite that long, but coming up with a plan just in making sure that all of our Chromebooks are getting rolled over in a timely fashion, and we don't have, you know, 1 year we're buying a bunch over, the next year we're not buying any, trying to get that balance going for budget reasons. Usually a Chromebook lasts somewhere between 4 years and 7 years. Kind of depends if it's at an elementary level, high school level, what it's being used for, but that's kind of the lifespan of them. Currently, we're getting ready to, it's next week actually, we're updating all the phone systems that are in the elevators. So right now, all of the elevators have their emergency phones that are old copper lines. And we're getting rid of all of those and we're upgrading them to a wireless system. So it'll go to a call center, and the call center is the one that will activate and get a hold of our SROs. And let them know that there's someone, some problem with the elevator or someone's trapped or whatever. And then, that'll get them on site quicker, as well as calling 911 to get the emergency response. So we're getting that upgraded, get rid of some of those dated copper lines out of there. And then after July 1, I will be getting 17 new network switches, which is part of our E-rate project that we're doing this year. So we're updating 17 switches across the entire district. Every building's like somewhere between 3 and 6, depending on where they're at. And then a part of that is I've been working with Atlas IT, who you guys know is our new MSP that we brought on in January. They have been learning a lot of how our network's laid out. And so once those switches are put in, and the next step is we're going to do some updating to our network. So we're going to change some back-end stuff just to make things a little bit more secure, a little bit more performance-wise, all that kind of, it's ongoing, always changing something on the background. So those are the real big projects. I was on a webinar today with Purdue University and Indiana University with a joint, what do you want to call it, joint organization that they have, and I am working with them on some cybersecurity stuff, and so they're going to be giving us some lessons. There's some classes, there's a worksheet that I fill out with them, and they kind of review like where we're at and give us help on where we can to, and it's not just like cybersecurity, like usernames, passwords, networks, it's across all departments of the organization, of our schools. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. Anybody got any questions?
Good. Very good. Thanks, Randy.
Yep.
Ms. Kendrick.
Monthly financial report is available in your board packet. Really, I like the chart the most. It captures all of the other reports behind it in one sheet with one graph. Just some highlights. This is ending month of May. In June, we'll look at May. July, we'll look at June, and so on. So we're about 5/12 of the way through the year as far as benchmarking for your revenue and your expenses. When you look down to the revenue projection, the very first colorful row that you see, if it's green, that means your revenue is ahead of where your benchmark is. If it's red, that means you're under. Most notably, if you're looking at your referendum, your debt service, and your operations fund, we're extremely underneath. Well, because we only get our property tax payment twice a year. We actually just got our property taxes notification from Kathy at LaGrange County yesterday. So that money has hit the bank. A little over $7.5 million in property taxes receipted among all those funds. So we're back in black in those funds. So not to worry. I know it's kind of scary when you see that those are negative if you look at that very bottom colorful row. When expenses are red, that means that we are not spending as much as we said we were going to. And if they're green. Green. Thank you. Yeah, wrong color.
Are you colorblind?
Yeah, I'm not colorblind. just fumbling. When the expenditures are red, that means that we have overspent more than our benchmark. Most notably on your expenditures for when we're looking at our education fund for the year. This month, we do a contract payout for anybody who wants to get paid out the remainder of their contract on the school year. Most teachers defer through the summer, but some teachers do elect to get paid out. So we're just a little bit higher on our expenses for the month. But that is common. It just puts us over the edge for the benchmark. Referendum, debt service, and operations, like I said, we're ahead on those expenses. And under on those revenues, but we did get that property tax revenue, and the other good thing is those projects that were being funded by the referendum and the operations funds, they're just about done. We've only got a couple of outstanding invoices, and they're just strictly for retainage at this point. Feels so good, and I did report on that last month that those projects are just about done, and it's been a long haul, right, yo? Yep. We're over it. The other thing on the construction fund, it's the third column from the right. It's zero balance. We've written our last check for that, so that fund is going to close. Our food service, we continue to celebrate a successful quarter and a successful month, and we are still cash positive, but we still have a lot of work to do. Just gotta keep plugging away at our food service, trying to increase revenues and decrease expenses. And then the health insurance fund, I think I'm most proud of. The committee and the membership, all of our employees who are in our health insurance group fund. 18 months ago, we were upside down in that fund. We didn't have enough money. And we've been able to turn it around. We've all had to try and steer that ship the right way. But we're finally where we need to be as far as our cash balance goal. And we've hit it and we've maintained it the last 3 months. Any questions? Okay.
That's all you have?
That's it.
Really?
I know.
Kendra?
Just getting better and better.
Very good job. Very good job. Action items.
Yep, we will need an action item for claims.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve the action items and the claims. I have a motion. Chuck, or Chad. Toby second, all in favor, raise your right hand, and that's 5-0.
Thank you. Who seconded that one? I'm sorry.
Toby,
Thank you.
okay. Any donations?
We do not have any donations
Okay.
over 5,000.
And we are ready for staff recommendations.
Yeah, so on staff recommendations, I just want to draw attention to the board addendum that we gave you. We have 3 additional staff recommendations. The Westview Junior Senior High School Dean of Students position, the Shipshawana Scott recess monitor position, and the Topeka Elementary School PLC leadership position. So we would like those to be lumped into action item K.
Okay, do I have a motion for item K?
I'll make the motion.
Chuck, need a second.
I'll second.
Toby, all in favor, raise your right hand. That's 5-0. Order. Okay.
We have some additional action items to be considered. So we are reviewing all of our handbooks for next school year. And I just want to draw attention to another packet that you have about the handbooks, and it says changes to be made after the approval on 6/11/2026. So you have the updated handbooks for all of our schools, and we are going to make some changes after they're approved this evening. We are going to add a cover page for each handbook. We're going to have the principals have an introductory letter, and then they will have an individual school handbook, and then we're gonna make a change to our handbooks in the future. And we're going to have a section in the back of the handbook that is district policies that applies to all students K-12 in the district. So they'll have their individual school handbook and then a district policy handbook in the back. So that would be something that would be new. So we would like these separated out. So we would like a motion for L for the 3 elementaries.
Okay, I need a motion for L. So Chuck, or I'm sorry, Chad, need a second? Gary, all in favor, raise your right hand. That's 5-0.
We'd like a motion for Westview Elementary.
Okay, I have a motion for Westview Elementary. Toby, need a second? Chuck, all in favor, raise your right hand. And that's 5-0.
And then item number N, letter N, excuse me, is the junior senior high handbook changes.
Okay, need it for N, we need a motion. Chuck?
Second.
Chad, second, all in favor, raise your right hand. That's 5-0 also.
And our next item is new. It's an immunization exemption form that our nurses have created. In the past, if a family opted out of immunizations, they had to handwrite a letter to the administrator and to the district, and those were approved. But we have created a form, and it has been created by our nurses and vetted by our attorney. And so we would like approval to use the exemption form starting the 26-27 school year.
Okay, I need a motion to approve that. Gary? Toby, second. All in favor, raise your right hand. That's 5.
And the next two items are gym and field rentals. So using our high school main gym, Caden Grau would like to use that June 23rd through the 25th for a basketball camp. And then the baseball field rental, 1 week in June, and that was requested by Jason Ron. So we can lump those together, so I was, P and Q together.
Then your motion to approve those two, Toby, your second, Chad, all in favor, raise your right hand. You look like Chad, you just look like Chad.
And then we do have an additional item that we did discuss earlier, and it's the July 1 and August 1 work agreements and contracts that, Lord, you have with the two highlighted changes that will be made. And everything else on those documents were approved last November when issues were granted. So just the two highlighted changes, and then so we would need a motion for the July 1, August 1 work agreements and contracts.
Chuck, second, Toby, all in favor, raise your right hand. That's 5-0.
All right, thank you. Okay,
Ready to go?
yeah, I have
Mr.
Bill.
Boston.
Yep, I have Mr. Boston here this evening, athletic director, to share a spring update of sports.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you again for having me to be able to share this. Want to recognize the efforts of our student athletes. Had another tremendous spring season. They represented Westview tremendously. Pride, competitiveness, sportsmanship across all of our levels, junior high through high school. We saw, as normal, strong performances in all of our groups. Continued growth from our younger athletes and strong leadership from our upperclassmen. So it's always fun to watch them grow from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. They represented us well in the classroom as well. Still tremendous success there and in all our lives through our community. We're proud of the standards they hold for our programs. I want to thank all of you guys for your continued support for athletics. I'd also like to thank our community. Every time I'm at games, we always have a tremendous following, so I appreciate that. It was cool going down to the state to see Noah and our other track boys running, and the support that was there. We had a whole upper section of the bleachers filled with our fans, so it's always cool to see that. Again, thank you, coaches. Without them, none of this is possible. Their efforts on the field, off the field, is so important to mentoring and supporting our young athletes, so I appreciate them a lot and all they do. So just to kind of share some items with you guys, our participation numbers, about normal what they are, but junior high track had 75 participate this year, junior high tennis 15, and junior high golf 13, so we had about 103 student athletes participating for junior high. High school, girls tennis we had 15, girls track we had 19, boys track 27, softball 12, baseball 12, and boys golf 17, so 102 student athletes in our high school programs. We competed in 59 home events and 84 away. I think half of those were probably canceled, so I appreciate Yo's flexibility in getting us drivers. It was a very, very rainy spring season this year, one of the worst that I can remember, so it was quite challenging in April to, I think I was calling her every day to get a new trip lined up, so I appreciate that. We hosted the IHSA softball sectional back here a couple weeks ago, and that actually was dry, so we were very lucky there. We sold 2,490 tickets this spring. That's not including student passes or family passes or adult passes, it's just tickets. Our teams, like I said, saw a lot of success. Boys golf, NECC tournament champion, NECC regular season champions, sectional runner-up last week. They placed 8th at regionals today and shot a really good score, 315. I think the first place score was 302, so it was a very, very challenging day, but that was an awesome score.
Their best team to go every year.
Was it? Okay. I knew it was close. I didn't know it was the best, but it was tremendous. Girls tennis was NECC tournament champions and NECC regular season champions. They were sectional runner-up, lost to Angola in a hard-fought night. And then softball was also sectional runner-up this year. So high school teams saw a lot of success. We also saw individual success in all of our programs. Boys track had quite a few individuals have success this year. Dallas Yoder was sectional champion in the 200 and the 400. He advanced on to regionals. he qualified for state on his time, and then he had a great outing last week at state. Antonio Pedroso, one of our foreign exchange students, they were sectional champion in the 4x800 relay, and then they qualified for state through regional as well. And then Bentley Ryle, sectional champion in the 4x8, and also state qualifier in the 4x8 relay. So those three had tremendous seasons. Obviously, you know about Noah. Had a lot of success again. Tremendous athlete. I know we're gonna miss him around here, but he was a sectional champion in the 1600, 3200, and also in the 4x8 relay. He was regional champion in 16 and 32. He was a state qualifier in the 4x800 relay. He did not run that event. Another filled in for him. But then he won the state championships in the 32 with a time of 8:47.57, which was a new state record that held since 2012. And then state champion in the 1600 with a time of 4:01.83, which was beating his previous state record last year to be a new state record this year. Next year we're gonna honor him at a basketball game. We're gonna try to get him to come back, and he'll get his state rings there. And so we're gonna try to do it at the beginning of the season, as long as that lines up with his schedule. So I know he'll be busy at Notre Dame with all he's doing. So we're gonna try to be flexible and just get back here to honor him one last time. So tremendous season for all of our track boys. Girls track, Jordan Wasan was a regional qualifier in the 400 meters. And then boys golf, Luke Carr, individual sectional champion. He was regional runner-up today, shot a 71. So he will be playing in the state championship next week on Tuesday and Wednesday at Prairie View Golf Club in Carmel. So it's a 2-day tournament, so wish him the best of luck there. And then as far as NECC goes, all conference honors, we had quite a few. Baseball, Elijah Zolman and Jackson Christner were all conference. Brendan Miller and Blake Hostetler were honorable mentions. For softball, Bree Kaufman and Myra Miller were all conference. Janissa Lehman and Bryn Bontrager were honorable mention. Boys track, Noah was all conference in the 1600 and 32, and then Dallas Yoder was in all conference in the 200 meter and 400 meter. And then for girls track, Jordan Wasan was all conference in the 400 meter. Boys golf, our entire lineup was either all conference or honorable mention. Luke was all conference. Brett Springer was honorable mention. Cooper Schwartz was honorable mention. Tyler Brewer was honorable mention. And Liam Brill was honorable mention. And then for girls tennis, Kristen Bender was #1 singles, all conference. Cam Christner was #2 singles, all conference. And Miley Mass and Lenita Mass were #1 double, all conference. So, like I said, all our teams had tremendous success throughout the season. Couldn't be more proud of them and all they do. So it was a fun spring season, and we got one more event to finish up, and then we're done for the year. So
Thanks, Bill.
thank you.
Good report.
Okay, yeah, we have, I just want to give a shout out to Tough Tie Downs. They donated $1,000 for the basketball summer shootout here. So just wanted to give them a shout out. And then, the only other thing I have as a last comment is, I know we have new staff members, or staff member in the audience tonight, if you'd like to stand. Would you be willing to introduce yourself to everyone and let them know what your new position is, please?
Yeah, I'm Brett Badek, new Dean of Students.
Welcome. We're excited to have you.
Yeah, very excited to be here. Thank you guys for the opportunity.
Good.
Really excited to jump into the Westview community.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
And that is all I have.
I need a motion to adjourn.
So,
Chuck, yeah.
uh,
Chuck, second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Oh, we are adjourned.